time to fight once again. Now it's the lightweight category. They're lean, mean fighting machines, but only in the ring, right? Well, we'll have to find that out soon enough. From the blue corner, he is a national gold medalist representing the Bangkok Elephants. Put your hands in the air for Egkachai Prommaka. Red corner, representing the Venky's Mumbai Fighters, a silver medalist at the 2011 President's Cup from the Philippines. Put your hands in the air for Charly, Warrior of God, Suarez!
जो परवाज़ें रोके हर ऐसी बंदिश के मुंह पे डिशू जो सपनों की सांस
Well, that's how the individual rankings stand there for the lightweight, and we don't have either of the two finalists from last season in the top 5, which is a bit of a surprise, but Juan Romero is one man to look out for in that list, and that certainly could be a bit of a dampener for last year's champion Wang Shimin of Beijing. But now, Mohit, it's going to be really tight because we've got a man from the Philippines, Charly Suarez. That's the judges for you. Michael Gallagher alongside it's Renny Just and Klaus Bedemann, and Martin Tadic of Croatia, the man conducting the affairs in the ring.
And this one should be really good. Two lightweights. Charly Suarez, this is important because the last thing the Venky's Mumbai Fighters want to do is get into a decider in the last one, even though they've got a really talented fighter getting in the ring for them.
Okay, then no wrestling, no holding, no low blow. I won't say the right fight. Let's go.
Both men would have seen each other in the Southeast Asian competitions, so certainly no strangers to each other, but it's Charly Suarez, just 23 years of age, and Egkachai Prommaka from Thailand, 22 years of age, so not much to differentiate between them, but the man from Thailand is fairly taller, almost 11 centimeters taller. That's about 4 inches taller than his opponent.
And you'll probably see him you know, adopting the strategy of an outside fighter, probably try and get a few jabs in and move away so that he doesn't have to deal with the power that's coming from those arms of Charly Suarez.
Being a southpaw, Prommaka does have the advantage of getting his attack in from different angles, but Suarez certainly wants to get in close and get into a scrap very early. Let's see how he manages that, because Venky's Mumbai Fighters certainly, as you mentioned, would not want to go into the heavyweight with a decider hanging in the balance.
And it's extremely disconcerting sometimes for an orthodox fighter to have to fight a southpaw, because you know, you fight so many orthodox fighters, there are such few southpaws, and you know, it takes a little bit of adjusting, as it does with so many sports. And you know, at that level, I think, considering these fighters have never fought before, there's a slight advantage that you'd give to a southpaw.
Certainly Bangkok Elephants would be hoping that Prommaka draws them level. It's Egkachai Prommaka in the blue shorts from Bangkok Elephants, and Charly Suarez of the Philippines representing Venky's Mumbai Fighters in the black shorts halfway through round 1. Remember, it's 5 rounds of 3 minutes each. Suarez now swinging and swinging wildly in the opening round. But if he connects, certainly he would want to make a very, very strong impression.
A bit of a bolo punch out there.
I think Suarez,
a nice left jab.
Trying to push his way past the defense of Prommaka, and once again both the men go down. Nothing really happened in terms of boxing. It was just a plain takedown by both of them.
Box.
Prommaka just waiting and watching. As we said earlier, he's taking the role of an outside fighter. Wants to land a few jabs in and then move away, inviting Charly Suarez in. Ravi, how do you call this one? It's been a tough one to call, hasn't it?
It's a very tough one to call, but I would still call it in favor of the home boxer, simply because he has landed quite a few, and Prommaka has been a little reluctant to come in, to get into the scrap. He's been throwing that left and walking back, jabbing and moving back. So Charly Suarez has looked the hungrier of the two. So you see him coming in to attack. That also creates a better impression in the judges.
And if you just have a look at that, but, you know, there's a lot of swinging, there's a lot of punches, but very few that can really be counted for points. And I'm sure the judges will take another look at those, some of those at least. A couple of nice body blows there, though, Ravi, and that's.
Well, two judges have scored it in favor of Suarez and one in favor of blue. So it's been a very mixed opening round for Suarez, but he's got to keep up that attack. That's going to be his key, because I mean, to me, he's looked the hungrier of the two boxers to go in for the kill.
He certainly has, and landed a nice jab out there from his right. And that's often the best way to counter a southpaw, to switch your lead every so often. And if you're good enough to do that and switch your lead, you can distract the southpaw into being uncertain as to where that jab is going to come from.
That's the IABF president Abhay Singh Chautala there for you, watching the action in the ring very keenly. Round number 2, and Charly Suarez has once again started aggressively, but he's got to start landing more of his punches. So far he's been meeting nothing with his gloves effectively.
Right.
He's been chasing Prommaka into the white corner, but not able to do any kind of damage. Charly Suarez, the arms flailing, but not connecting much. And now the thigh boxer has got into a bit of a hole, because he's trying to cover his head and wait for Suarez to come close. Now that's not a good tactic to adopt, because the judges start looking at that as a way that the fighter is avoiding getting into a scrap.
That's right. You know, when they start clinching or start getting too close, it just is, you know, that it's absolutely the last line of defense for a boxer, and you really don't want to see that from a boxer, especially if you're a judge. Now Prommaka ducking and weaving, feinting as well as he can, but he really needs to get a little bit more aggressive than where he's been so far away.
Charly Suarez has President's Cup experience behind him. President's Cup is certainly one of the premier international tournaments held in the Philippines, just like the King's Cup in Thailand, which is often, these are the two tournaments that are used as Olympic qualifying tournaments.
He lands a nice left jab there, just hooked it a little bit, and he's using the hook well. He got another nice one, just before the year. Takes a jab under his left eye and a nice shot, and he's gone down. I don't think he's going to get up from that one. He's not going to get up from that one, and he's not getting up. He's been called out. Referee asking Suarez to go back to the neutral corner.
Well, the doctor has come in, and this is not looking good. The referee has waved the bout, but this is a win for Suarez. That right did the damage. We'll have another look, but
And fortunately,
Egkachai.
what a relief it is to see him lift his hands and, you know.
well, the doctor seems to be having things in control, as does the referee, Martin Tadic.
Can you? Yes.
Now the doctor has called in the seconds because he knows that the man has been knocked out cold. The eyes are open, so he's conscious. That's the good news.
That's a relief. That certainly is a relief. Ravi, from my experience, there are a couple of points on the jaw from which this can actually happen, where it actually just knocks a fighter down cold. Fortunately, then not any worse the way for it, and that seems to be the case here. And hopefully Prommaka will be on his feet in a few minutes. Let's just see if we can get you the replay on that one.
Well, Egkachai, Prommaka certainly not looking very good here, but the eyes are open. He's conscious. That's the good, and we'll have a look at what happened right before he went down. And Charly Suarez wanted to come in very strongly. There you see Charly Suarez celebrating and getting the cheers from the crowd. And there you see what happened, that right on the chin.
Absolutely, it's on that point of the jaw which can actually knock out a fighter stone cold, and that's exactly what's happened. It's a great punch, wasn't it?
Well, what that one punch has done is that it's given this contest 3-1 to Venky's Mumbai Fighters, which means that they pick up all 3 points tonight. That was an effective win for Charly Suarez, for Venky's Mumbai Fighters. Knockout in the second round, and now Venky's Mumbai Fighters lead 3-1 with the heavyweight bout to follow. Don't go away, we'll be back.